Greetings from Kinshasa, where I sojourn with our Congolese Presbyterian siblings but get to journey with partners across sub-Saharan Africa. I am Christy Boyd. The question of how to be thoughtful as a traveler implies going with a higher level of intentionality by discerning the meaning, purpose, and desired outcomes of our journey. This process starts well ahead of making travel plans and evolves in consultation with our receiving counterparts. It also includes identifying any necessary preparatory work to be done to be mindful of our intentions. During the visit itself, we would, as thoughtful travelers, develop a greater awareness through our sensory perception of the context, our mental and spiritual reflection on the experience, and our prayerful and conscious effort to adequately respond to situations that can seduce us to unintended but still harmful acts. Taking the lead from local partners in delicate situations usually helps navigate pitfalls in cross-cultural interactions, particularly those created by socio-economic disparities. To be truly thoughtful, particularly in light of the emphasis on systemic issues in PCUSA's Matthew 25 vision, our visits do not happen in a vacuum, but as part of an ongoing conversation with partners and our common allies to allow for sustained change. I would like to illustrate these elements of thoughtful traveling through the transformational experiences with a group of US Presbyterians I had the privilege to accompany during our decade-long journey. The travelers had just visited the settlement of an indigenous community in Cameroon that had been displaced from its traditional gathering and hunting grounds for the construction of a pipeline by an oil consortium. Moved by the misery, the travelers wanted to leave behind money, but were told by a partner's field staff to not do that. Upset, they asked for an explanation at our next stop.
Why do we go out there? Is this not putting both them and us in a very difficult situation where expectations have been raised by the family that they will receive something, and a feeling of charity is raised in us where we want to give something? Why are we going out there?
L'objectif, comme vous vous êtes donné, c'est de voir les problèmes que le pipeline a causés dans l'environnement et dans les populations. Vous êtes venus, vous leur donnez 1000 francs, 5000 francs, 10 000 francs, ils prennent ça tout de suite. Ils achètent le poisson, ils achètent le vin, ils achètent le tabac, c'est fini. Et après quoi? Et moi, demain, quand je reviendrai pour leur parler d'une activité que je voudrais qu'on mène ensemble, et qu'après, je ne leur donne rien, ils vont penser que ceux qui m'ont envoyé m'ont donné de l'argent pour leur remettre et que je ne l'ai pas fait. Là, ça rend mon travail difficile. De manière que lorsque je vais leur parler, moi, je leur dirai autre chose, eux, ils comprendront autre chose. Et là, ça ne va plus marcher.
The experience eventually led the travelers to rally for denomination-wide efforts in support of US legislation to root out corruption as a way to eradicate systemic poverty in resource-rich but poor countries.
Chicago Joining Hands is very familiar with the Publish What You Pay campaign, and we intend to take it forth to our local presbytery, Chicago Presbytery, and we will ask them to overture the General Assembly. It is helpful to go and to say that this is what Releuven has asked us to do. It is helpful to be able to go and say to our Presbyterian Church that we are members of the World Alliance of Reformed Churches, and this is what they have asked us to do. And it is also helpful for us to be able to say to our church that this is just, this is fair, this is righteous, this is what we are called to do.
We all continue to be learners in this journey, and as mission co-workers and US-based staff, we are eager to come alongside Presbyterian congregations in the US to journey with our global partners and the communities they serve.